I've got a long road ahead. These boots have seen everything.
Mind flayers and civilians, side by side.
This must be where they infect and transform those they kidnap.
The device does not react to your presence. The device releases a stream of fragmented memories and emotions, all that remains of the pod inhabitant's former self. Courage, conviction, defiance. Even as her organs began to dissolve, she believed she could resist.
Lay down your weapons, please.
I'll give it a shot.
You remember the shattered windows of Alterel's High Cathedral, the burning black sky of Avernus beyond. In its horror, the blood war unites you. Tiefling, dwarf, and elf alike huddle behind the shields of your paladin order, waiting for salvation. But when it comes, disunity, the returned city casts your people out, the devils who dragged them down to hell. In the end, it is not your paladin oath that is broken. It is your faith itself. Delirium, mania, laughter. His mind broke before the end, and he was laughing uncontrollably as the skin fell from his face. Amusement, curiosity, fascination. He believed the horrors of Moonrise to be a fleeting dream that fade on waking.
A chance.
This pod pulsates with the angry memories of Ravengard's search officer, Manip Shurga. She laments her failure to locate him. Desperation, pain, terror. Cultists raided his village. He was the sole survivor.
Lay down your weapons.
Your lungs burn with the dry heat of the fires raging about you. But the pain is not enough to diminish your swing. One goblin after another falls to your blade. A man's voice cries out through the thick smoke. Ravengard, you call, but the clang of swords and spell shouts of attacking drow are your only reply.
Hurry now. The city calls out for salvation. The chosen are my heart, and you my many hands.
Brine pools, but empty of tadpoles. Unusual. Harvesting all the larvae indicates they are getting ready for something big.
That pod.
By Grazit's cock, it's about time you came. Thought you'd have figured it out by now. Now, enough sniffing around and get me out of this thing.
Do it, and I'll let Will off his leash. A devil always keeps her promises.
Your eyes turn to the control panel next to the pod. It has two devices marked with elithid symbols. The controls are open to your tadpole's command, to your authority. The symbol's meaning comes into focus. Annihilate. You recognize the marking from the nautiloid, an illithid symbol meaning unleash.
Good work. I'd give you a gold star, but I'm fresh out. As for the pact... Clause Z, Section 13. If the Soulbinder consents to separation, she will release the Soul Bearer from all obligation within 6 months.
The limpet clings on. Young Will had parasite problems well before the tadpole, it seems.
Ignorant thing. It's always the terms and conditions that get you. Dead serious. Don't let the smile fool you. Right. I'm out of here. I need a long bath. I'll leave you to your very serious business. But don't you fret. If you survive this place, I'll find you. The pup will be needing me. Count on it. Oh, and ask Will how we met. I've loosened his tongue. It's real cracker of a tale. Ta-ta.
No tadpoles in this brine pool. No tadpoles in this brine pool.
Elminster's not around, so it might as well.
Overly optimistic to hope there were never any tadpoles here? Thought as much.
What's next, I wonder? Strange-looking tadpole. Might warrant a closer look. Very carefully. An empty brine pool. Then where are the tadpoles?
Oh, I have the magic touch.
What to do?
No rest for the wicked, I see. Very well. Not a problem.
Prepare the march, my chosen gatherer.
Look away. Look at me.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
Your tadpole forms a telepathic connection with the device, and a chorus of static energy fills your mind. Every mind flayer in the room calls out hungrily from its pod, seeking release and sustenance. But there are others in the pods, those not yet infected, not yet elithid, terrified, desperate to escape. The device is open to your tadpole's command, to your authority.
I didn't think I was going to make it. Thank you. I owe you an explanation. Much more than that. But first, please, the others, the ambush. Tell me they survived. You've heard some of it, I'm sure. That I froze, or broke, or some other lie that is kinder than the truth. We were ambushed by cultists, yes. And then I heard her, their false god, whispering promises in my mind. I would be a paladin again, with a god's purpose, a god's power. Everything I needed to protect my people. And all the while, the cult tortured them. They fought and ran and died around me, while I imagined myself their savior. By the time I regained my senses, it was too late. I did not just surrender to the Absolute. For a moment, I welcomed it. It would be nice to think so, but whatever these monsters twist us into, I believe it begins in us. I won't make excuses. I can't make amends, but I know something of what you came to do. I want to help, if you'll let me. Ketherick is below. He thinks you're no longer a menace. Descend and show him how wrong he is. If there are any more survivors to be found, I'll find them and lead them out of this place. Only if you can trust it won't be buried in your back. The Absolute swayed me once before. I won't risk it happening again. Go, my friend. Please, let me do this much.
General Thorm was attacked. The order to evacuate given. You should not be here. I conclude you are one of the attackers. I have no need for a throne. You could merely get in the way. Go on, make yourself useful somewhere. If you cannot manage that, just stay out of the way.
Descend. Obey. Evacuate.
Is anyone else's tadpole squirming around a lot more than usual?
It's almost like it's excited by something, drawn to it.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
No longer a background murmur. The presence in your mind builds to a roar.
We found it. The Absolute is behind this door.
You said it was under control.
It isn't you I answer to, Gortash.
Oh, the general voice. Is this where we salute?
Salute, yes, with cleavers through his blood-starved flesh. How it crawls with failure, like flies on lick-wet carrion.
You forget yourself, Orin. I've played my part.
You've built an army for our masters, true enough. But what of the astral prison? A rogue true soul flaunting it under your nose all this time, and you ran from her.
Sure that they would follow and deliver it into my hands here. If you would cease these distractions.
The distractions have been yours, Ketherick. Perhaps we never should have dug your daughter up. So you haven't lost your edge, but you're still not as sharp as Orin, I wager. The Slayer against the Undying One. That'd be fun to see.
His crypt breath sings to my sinews again, again. But he must lead the murder march to Baldur's grave.
If the weapon is truly in your grasp, Ketherick, might I suggest closing your fist? Orin and I can wait for you no longer. The plan proceeds. We're going to the city, and we expect you to follow. Army and the weapon in tow. The Edict of Bane!
The lash of Thor!
The Testament of Merkel!
An elder brain. One of the cruelest and most powerful creatures in existence. Enslaved by mere mortals.
Look at that crown. It radiates with power unlike anything I've ever seen. To have it hold. Oh, if only I could. But I can't. This is it. I must do as Mystra commands. One last gust of weave. One last gale to end them all. No!
Beneath the smoking ashes of Moonrise Towers, the Elder Brain lies destroyed. But what of the tadpoles it commanded? Freed of the Absolute's control, they will complete their transformations. A plague of illithids will soon descend on the Sword Coast, enslaving all they do not infect. It is an ending of sorts, though not the one destiny had in store for you.
Look at that crown. It radiates with power unlike anything I've ever seen. To have it. To hold. Oh, if only I could. But I can't. This is it. I must do as Mystra commands. What choice do I have? More than just a goddess counts with my courage. Whole worlds hang in the balance. I do trust you. More than myself right now. Perhaps even more than Mystra. I have no desire to end your life, you know that. To end it. To struggle on. It is a grave choice you're making for us both. But if it must be so, very well. I'll stand down to stand by you.
There we are. It wouldn't do to fight in front of our guests. Behold, Duke Ravengard, the Absolute.
Heaven preserve us.
You wag your word flap in vain, Orderling. Once the worm holds the whip, your shredded flesh will serve us.
Now, it's really time we were going. We will empty this place and begin the march. You may catch up with the army once you've retrieved the weapon. And Ketherick, do try not to sulk. You're supposed to be the fearsome general come to conquer the city. And I am the hero who will save it.
It is time, faithful ones. March on Baldur's Gate. We go to prepare the way.
much farther can I go?
There you are, as predicted. What is it, I wonder, that draws one toward death like a moth to light? You could have run away, absconded with the prism. The one thing that could prevent me from fulfilling my destiny. But the lure of one's destiny is irresistible, isn't it? Perhaps you hope to learn your place in history before you are erased from it. A bright flash of clarity before the snuffing out. The very fact of your being attests to its power. Despite your infection, you resisted the brain here in the heart of its domain. What good is an army of thralls if they do not obey their master? Let us speak plainly. My Lord Merkel gave me the one thing I desired, the one thing no other god could grant me. My daughter's life returned. Her heart beating once more. For that, he asked that I serve as his chosen. Join Orin and Gortash to grow the cult of the Absolute, and then take control of it. He's never had a more devoted follower. I have fought great wars before, in the service of other gods and other powers. But for Merkel, I would condemn all of Faerun to death. You are all that stands between me and my destiny. And you have brought the prism here. I will kill you now. And then I will raise you as my servant. Would that even be possible? Perhaps. No. There is no repentance. No release. My debt can never be repaid. He is here. He is watching. He is listening. He is.
Baldur's attacking Ketherick while the Night Song's bound to him. She must be freed.
Impossible. Death cannot take me. I am its master. My lord, hear me.
The chosen of Merkel is dead. Permanently this time.
Ketheric's Netherstone. It's in his armor. Take it.
In death, the body is cooling, but energy radiates from the stone.
Remarkable. Truly. Now the picture comes together. The Absolute is neither god nor man. It is the Elder Brain you saw, held here by those three against its will. The crown it wears controls it, and these stones control the crown. It has been dominated. To master an Elder Brain, to subdue it, our enemies are formidable.
The crown's markings suggest it was forged in Netheril, an ancient empire whose mastery over magic rivaled that of the gods. It is a crown of domination. The stones were taken from its crest. They are nether stones, imbued with the ability to control the wearer of the crown. The crown's netherese magic must be the true source of the parasite's abilities. This must be what elevates their potential. And it must be the reason nobody could heal you. If the crown can do this to the parasites, I dare not imagine what it is doing to the brain. I believe you fought and defeated an avatar of Merkel, the god of necromancy. A remarkable feat. Ketheric was Merkel's chosen.
I know Lord Enver Gortash, an arms dealer and a slaver. He is a worshipper of Bane, the god of tyranny. The other is a mystery to me, but the way she spoke, it's most likely she follows Baal, the god of murder.
Which means the Absolute is a front for the gods of death, and our enemies are chosen of the dead three.
Bane, Baal, and Merkel. The tyrant, the assassin, and the necromancer.
They are known to pick from their most devout followers a chosen, granting them incredible powers.
Each one alone would be a formidable enemy, but working together and controlling an Elder Brain, I dare not imagine what they might achieve. A temporary reprieve, but a welcome one. With the brain on its way to the city, its influence here is weakened. Hope is a luxury for those who have a choice. This is the battle of our lives, and the lives of everyone in Faerun. The army of the Absolute is marching on Baldur's Gate.
Within the city, an Elder Brain brimming with power, ready to turn everyone within its reach into mind flayers.
All it needs is an order. An order the Death Gods chosen are on the cusp of giving. We must wrest control of the brain from the chosen before that happens. We must take their stones. Our chances of success are slim, but we must not fail. If we fail, everything ends. I will be your shield, but you must be the sword. And when the chance to strike comes, you must take it. For there may only be one chance.